Meet Burna Boy. I don't need to say much. You already know who he is. It's Odogu. Now meet Sophie. Sophie is a beautiful influencer living her best life. She's a socialite, which is a nice word for describing somebody who does not really do anything, you know, but they are famous. Now, Sophie was supposed to get a Lamborghini truck from Burna Boy after a night of genital meet and greet. Sophie got the Lambo truck, but not from Burna Boy. The question is why? What happened?
I know by Lambo. Yeah. Is that why I shout?
This is a story of persistence, sexual fraud, glorified prostitution, and completely horrible friends, because there's a 40-minute leaked phone call that was recorded by Sophie's friend and put out online. They said leaked, but we all know what happened. Having a private phone call get leaked to the public is a sign of very bad friendship. But I listened to the whole thing, so you don't have to. I know you have. I know you've got to listen to the whole phone call because you like these things. So that's why we are all here. Now let's go back to how we got here in the first place. I should stop saying we. How they got here in the first place. So I imagine one time Burna Boy was just on his phone scrolling through Instagram. His prick resting gently because there's no job to do and there's no girl to blow the job on it. So at some point he laid eyes on Sophie and his prick woke up immediately and sent a message to Odogu's brain and said,
"You see this girl? I want this girl. We need to enter this girl no matter what the cost. Just let me know the cost and we will take care of it."
And it's not hard to see why Burna Boy wants this girl. I mean, look at her face. The face was crafted by God. Yours was also crafted by God, but there are levels. The curves crafted by a doctor made by God. I don't have proof of this, by the way. This is all just... I don't have any proof of that. I mean, the Bobby is bobbying all day, and that Afro bottle she's carrying is like, my train of thought has just crashed. So it makes sense why Burna Boy would want her, and this is where persistence comes in, because oh my God. According to Sophie, Burna Boy tried to reach her so many times. It began first with a guy called Manny. Now, Manny is one of Burna Boy's, on Burna Boy's team, one of Burna Boy's managers. And Manny was dating Caramel Plug, who's a very funny content creator. She has been doing it for years. She's a legend in the game. But there's this other girl called Ama. Now, it looks like Ama stole money from Caramel. That's what they're saying. And Ama is friends with Sophie. So Manny was telling Ama that Burna wants to meet Sophie. So Ama is telling Sophie all the time that, yo, Burna wants to meet you. What are you doing? And Sophie's like,
you know what? I'll think about it. Let me think about it a little bit.
At that same time, Burna Boy's prick, don't forget Burna Boy's prick, is saying to him,
"Odogu, I'm bloody hot because you won't kill me. I want this girl."
So Burna Boy changed formation and then went through the flanks to a strip club manager. And then him now started bombarding Sophie and telling her, you know, Burna wants to meet you. Come on, please. I need you to meet Burna. So she finally met Odogu. So on that very first meeting, Odogu decided to pull the trigger and shoot the shot. The girl said,
I'm not really feeling it. I don't really want to go home with you today.
And I'm sure at that point, Odogu could have relaxed and let things fall into place. But Odogu's prick, don't forget, said,
"Hey, this has to happen tonight."
So Odogu says the security should follow the girl. So the girl drove home, not in a Lambo truck. Don't forget the Lambo truck. It will come very soon. So the girl left and Odogu's prick said,
"No, call that girl back. Call her, ask her for her address. Let them go and pick her up."
The girl said, okay, I'll send the address. She did not send the address and went to sleep. Now Odogu decided to go to the flanks again. So the strip club owner called the girl again and said, yo, Burna Boy is texting me. What are you doing? Like, what's happening? He's worrying me. Go and see him. Burna Boy's prick started talking through his mouth and saying, oh, the girl is rude. What is she doing? Like, why did she leave? She didn't even tell me anything and all that stuff. So the girl decided to send a message to Odogu. Now, at this point, Odogu's prick was clearly asleep because she realized that Odogu had blocked her. The prick is not going to allow that. You block the girl. No. It's not going to happen. And it was evidence because a little bit later, Odogu's prick woke up again and said,
"Hey, are you joking? I'm telling you I want this girl and you are blocking, you are joking with me. Call her again."
So they called again and said they should go out. So they went out again and the girl went home again. They didn't do anything again. The prick was furious. The prick said, "Ah!" But it wasn't happening. So the prick went to sleep again and they didn't speak for a while. And over here, she said something that caught my attention.
When I came back to Lagos, I was at Secret Palace with one guy.
Yeah.
So he was rushing to work.
Mm.
That Ebuka guy that you met, that fat guy.
Ebuka, whoever you are, you need to work harder, okay? Work harder, grind, lock in, because they describe you as that fat guy, and that's not a good look on you. No pun intended. Anyway, let's continue. So, she met Odogu again at this same place where Ebuka, the fat guy, was. And this was after 3 months. So I'm sure as soon as she entered, Odogu's prick recognized her and said,
"Hey, this is it. This must be it."
So over here is where the Lambo truck comes into the conversation, because over here, Odogu's prick realized that the force is not working. So let's try another way. You know, they tried the flanks, you know, with the strip club manager, and it worked a little bit. So now he decided, you know what, let's try to Trojan horse the situation. Let's put the pill inside the banku. And so over here, you can call it a Trojan Lambo truck. Now, in the call, she mentioned the Lambo truck, and she said other things that Burna said, like, you know, he's going to she's going to learn how to love him. And so let me just play it.
So that Manny told him I'm trying to buy a Lambo truck. I should have just said that to him. That he would have gotten it for me. How much is a Lambo truck? Just that I shouldn't tell anybody about it. That he wants to be my guy. That trust me, you're going to end up loving me. I should just give him a chance. Just talking long.
Yeah.
But those other things didn't do the trick. The Lambo truck even didn't do the trick at that time. The girl was still reluctant. She said she doesn't fuck with artists. Artists are not serious, that whole thing. And so Burna Boy decided to switch up and say, no, I'm not just an artist. I'm a gangster before an artist.
I said, to be honest, I don't really like to follow artists because they don't really do anything for me. Like they don't really do anything. He's like, trust me, I'm a gangster before an artist. Trust me.
I don't know how that's supposed to help the situation. I mean, gangster is much worse than artist. Gangsters are dangerous. Gangsters can go to jail. They're not reliable. So why is that a promotion technique? But anyway, Sophie still wasn't giving in, not speaking his scores, playing games, but Burna was still persistent. And this Ama girl was also really invested in trying to get Sophie for Burna Boy. After so many games, finally, the girl decided she's going to give Odogwu a chance. One time they went home, he sold her some more dreams, I'm sure. And then finally, Odogwu, and most importantly, Odogwu's prick got what they wanted. Sophie opened up the floodgates and received Odogwu with a Lambo truck in mind. And to her, it was fine because according to her, Burna can be one of her guys. Hey, Charlie, Burna was one of your guys. By the way, while all this is happening, Sophie was in a relationship. Also, she mentioned that she went to the house and then the security wanted her phone because Burna Boy said in City Boys,
Girls in my crib, 0 Snapchat, 0 Instagram, posting.
The girl didn't like that because she mentioned that when she's hanging out with Wiz, they don't take her phone and she's not going to post. And you know, Wiz and Burna Boy are very good friends. They are tight. So I'm thinking, was this a two-man situation? Was this a recommendation made by Wiz to Burna? And maybe that's why Odogwu and Odogwu's prick were so motivated throughout all the months, because maybe there was a recommendation coming that this one, if you get it, you're not gonna ever forget. So now the sex has happened. Odogwu is happy. Odogwu's prick is very happy. And here's where the sexual fraud comes in, because Sophia had mentioned before that she was going to buy a Lambo truck already, and Burna Boy was like, oh, come on, I'm gonna buy it for you. Come on, I'm a Lamborghini boy. I'm gonna buy it for you. So now she's asking, she's saying, okay, I'm going to buy the car. Where's the money? I'm sure Odogwu himself was going to buy the car for the girl. Odogwu has the money. He bought a Rolls Royce for Steph London. But at this point, Odogwu's prick had gotten what it wanted. So all the motivation from that side was gone. So at this point, Odogwu himself was more rational than before. And this is where Speed Darlington comes in, because you know Speed Darlington and Burna Boy had an issue where Speed Darlington was locked up, right? So Burna Boy told the girl that he is going through a lot. He's going through a lot. He had to lock Speed Darlington up, and that probably weighed too much on his brain. So at this point, the Lambo truck has to wait. So Burna kept giving story after story, and Sophie's angry, like, yo, what are you doing? I'm a socialite. I'm very rich from other people's money. I can buy my own car from other people's money. But according to her, she was still waiting for the money. She asked him that I want to pay for the car this week, where I'm waiting for the money. Burna Boy said, don't worry, when I'm back, I will give you the money. Don't worry about it. Ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, if it is today that Burna Boy will buy the Lambo truck, we don't know. Because the girl finally had to buy her own car. But it looked like in that voice, in that whole thing, the car wasn't what she was angry about. She was angry about her friend Ama. Remember, I mentioned bad friendships. According to her, the friend knew about the whole thing, and then when the fraud happened, the friend just removed themselves from the situation, and then it looks like the whole thing happened while Burna Boy was still doing his thing with Chloe. And so one part that got a lot of attention was when she mentioned that Burna Boy flew a girl down.
Okay, so like last week, you know, Burna flew in one girl like that, one called Chloe.
Yeah, I saw it, yes.
To Lagos. So yeah.
One Chloe girl. Hey! Chloe Bailey. He says one Chloe girl. Do you know Chloe Bailey? She was in Let It Shine. She signed to Beyonce, has been a superstar all the way to now. Now she's one Chloe girl. Chloe, have you seen? You see what you have gotten yourself into. So it looks like Sophie was angry because Ama was partying with Burna Boy and Chloe. And she's like, yo, are you not supposed to be my girl? And right now I want to hear Ama's story, because the way they said the whole thing, it looks like Ama is this conniving bitch. So she said there's a guy she's seeing now, one young guy. The way this girl describes her voice.
Me, I was just waiting because I remember Ama, the guy I'm seeing now, that young guy I told you about, his best friend, Derek. Ama was seeing that guy. That was even before I even met. Ama became my life, entered my life.
Ama is everywhere.
So Sophie was seeing this one young guy who has a best friend called Derek. At least Derek got his name in the thing without any description. So Ama was now seeing Derek, and that's how Ama got into Sophie's life. But Derek was seeing another girl, so Ama jumped ship to money, and that is how Ama got into this whole thing. And the girl on the phone call, the one recording the call, that girl's main goal is to just dismantle Ama's position in this whole thing. I need to hear from Ama, wherever you are. We need to hear your side of the story. Come and talk.
I'm very sure Ama tells Manny bad things about you. That's just it. She's the one that made him not buy you that Lambo. Let me just tell you. I told you from beginning. It's not like I'm maybe telling you what to do or what not to do. I told you from beginning. That girl takes people's shine. She enters people, break them, and leave. But you don't used to hear.
But they say Ama is taking people's shine. Is it spiritually or something? At this point, the Lambo track situation is not even the most important part of this whole video. It's 40 minutes long. I've only gotten to 11 minutes. The Burna situation ends at 11 minutes. The rest is just how Ama is a conniving bitch. So of course the news hit the internet. People are talking so much. Burna Boy himself is trolling. And this is where the glorified prostitution comes in. Because people are asking like, why do you think you could get a Lambo track for one night of sex? Well, she would think that if it is something that happens normally, and Nigerian men have that reputation. There's a reason why all the girls in all the African countries want the Nigerian man, because you are going to be sorted out, right? You might go through some pains and feel some pepper in your chest, but that's life, okay? It's all part of the package. But is this prostitution? Like what she did, is it prostitution? Because the mating dynamic we have in society is that a woman will fuck you if you have something to offer. And it's not always money. Men don't need that much of a reason to have sex, but for a woman it's different. Subconsciously, she has to make sure she's having sex with the right candidate, because if it goes wrong, if he's a wrong guy, she has to carry the baby. Her body will go through all these changes. She's out for 9 months. So women have to make a more informed decision. Now, sometimes the things that inform the decisions can be wrong because social proof and social status counts in this decision. And sometimes the kind of social status a man has is wrong. Like if he's a drug dealer, or if he's a fraud boy, he's a ritualist. So it might be a completely useless person in society, but he has social proof in some society, in some sense. You understand? That wouldn't be prostitution. But if you have a price on the punani, that's prostitution. If you're saying like, oh, I won't fuck you unless you give me this, that's prostitution. Now, based on everything we've heard, we are inclined to believe that this girl is doing that in other ways, right? Like she wouldn't fuck a guy unless he's getting some kind of financial benefits, which is a common thing. I wouldn't sound wrong to say that. But in this case, she was going to buy the car herself already, and Burna Boy found out about that and used that as the Trojan horse, the Trojan Lambo. So I wouldn't call it prostitution in this case. But it's still a crazy thing, bro. It's still a crazy reason to fuck somebody. Because clearly, from everything she said, she didn't like the guy. She said it in the voice note. She said, I didn't even like being around him. She said it. And me, I never have a problem with anybody's lifestyle. Do what you want. I won't judge you. I might think it is bad, but I do what you want. I won't judge you. I'm not in your shoes. Maybe if I was in your shoes and I lived your life, I'd probably do the same thing. Who knows? But the problem is the way this would have been made to look if we didn't hear about this, you know. And I've seen many people mention this. We would have been seeing posts like, work hard, you know, grind, we started from the bottom, you know, all these things, and just give pressure to a lot of young girls. And those things fuck up society, because now people who don't have the capacity to do these kind of things, because listen, many girls can do this thing and become rich, but they just don't want to. They don't have the capacity to. Like, I have the brains to do, you know, reverse cybersecurity. I can do it very well. It's just not, I can't do it. You understand? It's not my thing. So yeah, I could talk about this whole thing for about 15 minutes and how people are so hypocritical. Like many people who are defending this now, later on they'll come and be bashing it in a different situation, all kinds of things. But you know what? I still want to ask you to like and subscribe and the notification bell. I will ask you to leave a question below. Let me think about the whole situation. Did you hear about it? Yeah. Let me know what you think about the Lambo track situation and the ladies who do this job. Give me your perspective. What do you think about this whole thing? How would you have handled it if you were the one who didn't get the Lambo track? Would you have gotten angry? Would you have gone to curse him in, you know, going to do juju? Let me know. I really love the drama between Sophie and the friend on the phone call and Ama, and that kind of the way they describe the drama they describe in the next 30 minutes of the phone call, epic. But I still don't love it as much as I love you guys. And I'll see you guys in another video. Sing the song.
People I go never ever ask you to like and subscribe, but you go fi share my video if you know you're feeling my vibe. People I go never ever ask you to like and subscribe, but you go fi share.